The fundamental reason for technology to exist is to simplify complex things.
Here at AWS share the same vision and desire to really simplify.
There's nothing like this exists in the industry, which is a big competitive advantage for us. So people already kind of mentioned us as the operating system for automotive retail.
I'm Gary Szilagyi, Vice President of Machine Learning Silicon Engineering for Annapurna Labs, part of AWS. Today, we bring you our fourth episode of our SaaS SCIONS series, powered by AWS in partnership with Business Insider in India. SaaS SCIONS is a chronicle of India's leading SaaS visionaries who have defined this multi-billion-dollar ecosystem and transformed the technology space globally. I'm pleased today to have Jay Vijayan here, who is the founder and CEO of Tekion, a rapidly growing SaaS company headquartered in Pleasanton, California, that's focused and revolutionizing the automotive industry with an end-to-end cloud-based platform for both car dealers and auto manufacturers. And today we're going to talk about the role that India plays in Tekion's SaaS strategy and how technology enables Tekion to disrupt this kind of decade-old industry. So Jay, I wanted to say welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Gary. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Glad to be here.
Doing fantastic. It's good to see you again.
Great to see you. Yeah.
Let's jump right into it. Let's start at the beginning. Give us your inspiration for how you decided to start Tekion and kind of specifically why focus on the automotive industry?
Yeah. My, seed of my idea of, starting a SaaS platform started when I used to, work for Oracle. That's early stages of many of the today's large SaaS companies were just about, growing up. I felt there is a great need to, deliver a state-of-the-art SaaS platform. But that idea kind of, started growing out when I built the platform for Tesla, which is, of course, disrupting the whole automotive industry. And after that, I felt, as consumers, automotive is the second largest kind of, I would say, purchase that we do after housing to most of the people. And it is the largest consumer industry in the world in terms of dollar value. When I went through in my consumer experience, before joining Tesla, I purchased a BMW. It was, unfortunately, the car itself was all good, but the experience was terrible. This is something I had to, even though I knew what car I needed, I did all of my research. Between me and my wife, we went to this, dealership, which we ended up grueling, almost 8 hours for. I really don't know what the reason was. I was ready to pay the money. I was ready to just, give me the car and I'll get out of here. But yeah, no, they wouldn't. So the complexity, I started understanding all of those, was like, okay, this is something I need to solve. And since I was able to solve this for Tesla as a brand, I felt, why can't we do this for the industry? How can we create a technology platform which can remove all of the friction that exists between the brands, dealerships, and the consumers? How can we take the complexity out? How can we create the simplicity through that platform so that the whole automotive experience, everything from the whole shopping and buying experience, the service experience, and the engagement, customer engagement, all becomes really seamless. So that, Gary, was the vision for Tekion, building that. And I, ended up leaving Tesla and starting Tekion in 2016 to bring that vision to life. And that's exactly what we are doing.
I completely empathize with the problem statement when you buy a car, especially here in the US. It's like the sales process never ends. And yeah. It's one of the most frustrating experiences as a consumer you could possibly imagine. So we're certainly, personally, I'm very inspired that you are taking this crossroads to really change and disrupt the industry. So in that, how are you using technology in order to kind of embark upon this vision and execute? What role is technology playing in you being able to disrupt this industry?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's pretty much the prime center of everything, right? Technology really enables or makes this even possible, right? So the see fundamentals, as you know well, being in the largest cloud technology provider, the fundamental reason for technology to exist is to simplify complex things, right? The computers, which is both hardware and software together, takes the complexity in and provides the simplicity to consumers. Amazon e-commerce is a great experience. It's probably the best experience for e-commerce, where things are extremely simple. You can buy a $1 item, you can buy a $20,000 item on Amazon, and still you get the same experience: simple, seamless, get it delivered to your home. But on the contrary, it's not the same with the automotive space. And I felt the technology has evolved as well. There are things that used to take a lot more effort to bring it to bear. It's much more easier with the technology. So it has been a big enabler for us to bring all of these together. So we are probably the most modern tech platform. Of course, we have a big presence in AWS. That's our technology partner and provider, right? But it enables us, and we have the latest and greatest in technology stack as well, to bring one is the cloud native platform from applications and delivery, bringing all of this together. At the same time, it is not only that software, right? It needs the complete experience for you to give a complete connected experience to the customer. So you need to have, I'll give you some examples. Connecting to the car, it's very important. So we have ways to connect to the car so that the experience comes together, right? For consumers to connect when there is a service need. The car can send information, including error codes, to our platform and say, okay, this is exactly the problem, and this is what needs to be done to this car to service. And because we are an end-to-end platform, we can always check into our system, which holds pretty much the inventory for everything, to say, okay, the car needs this kind of service. And then do you have all the necessary things like parts and everything that is needed to service that particular car? And if it's not, how do you refresh or replenish the inventory? So connecting the whole piece, including digital displays. So if you walk into a showroom, every digital displays is connected to the cloud. So technology helps in every way, from the cloud platform to IoTs, which is the vehicle connectivity, the digital displays, and then you have the AI engine, which pretty much runs across the board, so that we can always provide what is most important to the consumer, personalize the products and the services that you could provide to them. So yeah, technology is pretty much the prime center of everything we do.
We here at AWS share the same vision and desire to really simplify. It's one of our key leadership principles. And the goal there, as you stated so nicely, is to really hide the complexity as much as possible and make it seamless, right, for your customer. It allows them to move faster. And obviously so you guys share that same customer obsession.
Absolutely.
That we do as well. So that's really nice to hear.
That's great. No, I know, and it's exactly, and it's an inspiration as well. Like you said, what you guys do is definitely an inspiration for growing company like ours.
We appreciate that. I'm super curious, how do you go about collecting customer feedback, and what's your process or mechanism to try to get that and incorporate it back into product delivery? Because you're dealing with such a diverse set of dealerships, manufacturers that are global all over the world, and they probably have very different needs.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great question. And honestly, customer, like you briefly mentioned that, right? I think customer experience and customer service is an obsession for us as well. Very important. We measure almost every touch point. We measure customer experience. We measure kind of NPS, right, Net Promoter Score, on every touch point we have. So we have several touch points. Of course, our platform itself has ways for customers to give feedback. It has an opportunity periodically. It does ask for NPS, how satisfied they are. Outside of that, in the platform, there is always a very simple way we have provided for consumers to click and provide feedback right away, good or bad. If they love something, they can give the feedback. And then every touch point, major touch points we have, like, post onboarding of the customer, implementation, we check on everything from our training to setups, onboarding, the whole process. And then we have our support team, which does 24/7 support. We have chat through the platform itself. We have phone, support. The team measures every touch point. There's an optional, but every touch point we measure customer satisfaction. The third thing is we have a partner success manager. So we consider every customer as our partner. So basically the way we approach this is it's a partnership where their success is intertwined with our success. So if we can't make them successful, we are not going to be successful. So we truly believe it's in our DNA. We have a partner success manager for every single customer who measures the value that they get through our platform. One more thing from top to bottom, very similar to probably what you have done, we kind of really took away all the barriers, which has become a big advantage for us. What I mean by that is, for customers to interact all the way through, while we have good system and a protocol, there is absolutely no restriction for our product and engineering team to interact with our customers and our field team to really pull the product and engineering team to customer calls. That is something we felt will have that closed feedback loop, seamlessly the feedback going in. We have a good system for product team to listen to customers, incorporate that in the product roadmap, and then deliver back to the customers and measure feedback, how well the deliverable went into. So we really took any barriers out and created that closed feedback loop. I think it's working great, and we just have to continue to keep that up as we scale as a company.
I like how you're doing a lot of this real time as well. So it's not getting translated through various layers within the organization all the time.
Yeah.
Which is often a challenge, right? So that's really great to see and hear. As you're disrupting this industry, there's a lot of change happening at the same time, especially with the connectivity of cars and automobiles to each other, to the internet, to the end manufacturers real time. EVs are playing a big role in this. How are you planning to take advantage? Does it change your strategy in any way? Do you see this as more of an opportunity? How do you look at that?
Yeah, it is a big opportunity for us. The industry, you're absolutely right. Automotive industry is evolving fast. It's the hottest industry right now, right? It's like you pointed out, it's EVs, it is autonomous cars. There is, the ride sharing, mobility services. So definitely lots happening in the automotive industry, and it is evolving very quickly. And we believe strongly it's an incredible opportunity for a platform like ours. The good news is there's nothing like this exists in the industry, which is a big competitive advantage for us. All are very fragmented legacy platforms that doesn't solve the problems in the industry, even if they do not in the way we do it, how we bring everything together. So it is a big opportunity for a platform like Techion. We are the only platform that can enable the ecosystem, both the OEM, the manufacturers, as well as the dealers, to truly be prepared and also be ready for the evolution, right? The EVs. If you go to our website, you will see clearly testimonials from our customers saying like, yeah, Techion is the path for us to start selling EVs. So same thing with autonomous cars, because we build that ecosystem which connects to the cars as well. So I think we are definitely excited about everything that is happening in the industry, and I feel we can enable many of the partners. We work with many of them already, but there are many we can still help, because if they have to be, continue to be even relevant in many cases, it is important for them to partner with Techion.
No, absolutely. I'm not sure I shared this with you, but I recently had to schedule an appointment for my wife's car to take it in for service, and rather than calling them, I'm so used to doing everything online. Just logged in to the portal, and guess what? The whole portal was powered by Techion. So I was able when I dropped the car off to start quizzing them a little bit about how they're using it. And they're in the process of the dealership's doing a wholesale shift over to what you guys are building. So
that's right. Yeah,
that was pretty exciting because it was really relevant for today.
Well, thank you. I know you sent me a brief note. It was exciting. Thanks for sharing that with me. Yes, they've been our partner for quite some time. It's a large dealership, of course, here in the Bay Area. But they are doing a full shift. I'm sure they would have mentioned now. So previously, only the service department was running. So they completely switched. They've been waiting for a few things, including the manufacturer integrations, which was completed. So now they are completely shifting the whole dealership. In fact, the whole group of that particular dealer group is all already on. This was the last one that was just getting on board in the end-to-end platform.
Yeah, well, congratulations. It's great to see.
Thank you. I'll look for more feedback. How you or your wife liked it when you take the dealership next time once they are fully on the end-to-end platform.
Yes.
I hope you like it. It's going to be. It should be very, very simple for you to do everything from your mobile phone. Everything from booking appointment to getting status to anything you need, seeing your invoice or getting the payments done.
Fantastic. So you're headquartered here in Pleasanton, California, but clearly you have a very large engineering presence in India, which is now home to 9,000 plus SaaS companies. It's grown more than doubled, right, in the last handful of years. Thousands have raised funding, 50 plus with Series C, and a dozen plus unicorns. My question is, as entrepreneurs try to come onto the SaaS bandwagon and build products that serve globally and have to actually operate globally, how do you encourage them, especially in India and other areas, to get on board and to drive this momentum?
Yeah, no, great. I mean, it is incredible to see the growth, the number of companies that are coming up in the ecosystem. There is opportunity, right? There is opportunity, and there are many great companies. It is important. My advice, or if it's worth for anything, is the discipline is going to be very important. And Gary, I'm sure you went through probably the last two recessions that happened. And again, it's the recession, this in today's interdependent world, if it starts in the US, it doesn't stop there. It is a global impact always, right? We've seen two, and if we have another one, the third one now, yeah. So the key is, there is a great opportunity for building fundamentally strong businesses. It takes time. We don't want entrepreneurs to rush to catch the train, but at the same time, move fast, but do the right thing, not really rush. But so the way it worked for us, and it will continue to work for us, is it's always long-term goal. The goals would be like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But we have short-term milestones that shows progress towards achieving the long-term goals. So if you don't have a long-term goals, I've seen sometimes you get lost, because if one or two, short-term milestones get off track, people get rattled quite a bit. So my point is, there is a huge opportunity, like you said. The SaaS ecosystem is continuing to grow. It's being nurtured as well quite a bit by all the support ecosystem that is coming from private equity, ventures, pretty much everyone working through it. So the opportunity is huge. My suggestion only is, try to get to a good level of execution, and operational discipline is going to be very important. Making the right decisions. keeping that long-term goal always in the backdrop or in mind while we set, short-term milestones. So that's pretty much I would suggest to anyone, to entrepreneurs who are working towards solving problems in different industry vertical, different SaaS platforms and product solving problems for that particular industry or ecosystem. And then the second is probably the most important, is truly solving that problem in the best possible way for whoever their target clients are, right? In different verticals, it's going to be very important in today's world. Small incremental change is not going to cut it. So it has to be significant amount of change that is brought and significant amount of value brought to the targeted customers or clients. I think that is probably those are the two things I would, from my experience, I would share to entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it resonates with us, obviously. I call that the tyranny of the urgent that always kiboshes your long-term patience. And you just have to power through that. Otherwise, you'll find yourself kind of circling that same problem over and over again. And if you wouldn't mind, I think I might add that entrepreneurs should really look at their decision-making process and be able to take risk, right? Because we have to make decisions every day in ambiguity. It's how you measure the risk of those decisions and the speed in which you can make them, and your course correction capabilities. Because those often, the last thing you want is an entrepreneur that's like a deer in the headlights and he stops, or he or she stops. So take those risks, calculate them, and be willing to self course correct, right, as you go forward.
That's great. No, you're spot on, Gary. You're a very successful entrepreneur, so it's a great advice for up and coming entrepreneurs.
So with the challenges of your growth, and clearly with India, that's I think the world has gotten hyper competitive, but I think specifically in India, the talent war and challenges for our tech talent continues, and even in these markets, it still becomes a bit of a challenge. How do you view that situation? How do you tackle it? Are you expecting it to get better or worse in the current market environment? How do you think about that?
Yeah, great point and very important question. And that's a very important topic that, I discussed this with my leadership team there as well, right? It's very important. You're absolutely right. There's a talent war that's going on. People do announce all kinds of perks, including, permanent work from home, right? So one of them, it's like what? So the thing is, with the talent ecosystem, as you know, we need to make sure that we give a few important things for candidates who are coming in, potential candidates, and then also our employees, right? So one is first, exciting work environment is important. What I mean by that is one is the work itself, the challenge, making sure that every single person in the company has a very clear line of sight to the purpose. What are they solving in the bigger picture? Yes, on day to day, salaries and many other things, compensation packages, equity, all of those are important. But day in and day out, when they come in, I want to make sure that people are associated to a purpose and they have a good level of excitement towards what they're solving. And I feel that will keep them excited. And then keeping the environment, overall working environment, in a healthy and a challenging way, and also very collaborative way, I think it's very, very important. And then for people to provide or give them a very clear career pathing. So for example, we have a very good internship, very strong internship program. In fact, we just started, a few years ago, but very strong internship program where we hire phenomenal, people. We invest in them. We have a 6 months, very strong program in every way to getting them on board into, Techion, and have a very clear career path for them to grow into Techion. We have incredible success. People have contributed significantly, have, grown within the organization. There are people who've joined as interns and have already grown to very senior level, showing the talent, what they contribute to the company. So I think it's a combination of a few things. So the first is that work environment, combination of everything. Challenging work, attaching them to the purpose of what they're doing, and then showing them a very clear career path, how their career would grow with the company. And then keeping them engaged is very important, keeping them connected and engaged. The reason for my visit, which I'll do more frequently as well, conducted multiple meetings, including an all hands meeting in both the locations where we are present, and we had more than 1,000 people present in that in person in those meetings and sessions. It's keeping them really connected and engaged is important. I feel these will help retain talent and continue to keep them engaged in what we do, what we solve.
Yeah, I've noticed an interesting phenomena as we have, kind of come back to work in a lot of areas, and at least able to travel. That people, really need that human engagement. As successful as virtual worlds can be, and it's important to be an integral part of your workforce strategy moving forward. But people really need that energy and that creativity that comes from that human engagement. Did you find and see that as you traveled?
Absolutely. It's huge. You're absolutely right. People did come and share with me how easy it is to get work done. I opened a new office. It's phenomenal. The team has done an amazing job. It's a fantastic work environment. We kept it like super cool, really nice, bright. We have, I was also, first time I visited that office, even though I reviewed and approved all the design and everything, it's really nice office. When you go into an office, it's also green everywhere. Lots of plants inside. You don't feel like you're sitting inside an office. It's not just tables and chairs. It's a very nice working environment. Anyway, you're absolutely right. Many people walked into me and said like, Jay, absolutely, yes, we can get things done so well when working in person, which many times it's very tiring for me to get, it's not efficient, very tiring to get things done. We don't connect as people. There's a lot more friction when you're only remote, because when we connect as people, many times, the emotional aspect of it goes away, where we don't have too much friction. We kind of get to understand each other when we see eye to eye. And then the collaboration aspect is significant. When we whiteboard certain things to solve problems, we solve problems much faster and quicker versus being on a call and trying to solve the problems. Absolutely right. Yeah, it is a lot more engaging, a lot more efficient being in person and connecting with people.
Yeah, for sure. So I have maybe one more question and theme, which is kind of what's next for Tekion? What do you see over the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, absolutely exciting future for us. Maybe the immediate term, ramping up really fast in the US, just starting to ramp up in Canada. We have, the work started in Europe, France, and UK. We have launches scheduled for next year. So basically, we will start the launches in Europe, for France, and in UK next year. And most likely we will, look at opportunities. We have been getting opportunities for India, but it's not been viable, like in terms of financials and margins. So most likely we'll see if we get a good customer partner in India, that is something we will invest in and accelerate. But at this point, there is a potential. It's not finalized or firm yet. So that's in kind of the next immediate year. But 5 years, we truly want to be the number one platform in the automotive retail ecosystem. So people already kind of mentioned us as the operating system for automotive retail. We truly want to become that, right? Literally the operating system for automotive retail, the platform of record for vehicle shopping, sales, service, and engagement, and truly enable both the manufacturers and dealers, and also the most importantly, bringing that the best experience I talked about, what Amazon is providing for e-commerce, we wanted to provide for vehicle buying, servicing and engaging.
Well, we're certainly willing to help. So just know that we're here to support you in that
Totally.
effort. Yeah. Well,
Totally.
Jay,
Thank
with
you.
that, I just want to really say thank you for taking the time and sharing your success stories to date. And I'm anxious to see what the next 5 years holds for you and for both of us. So, and for everyone out there listening, I hope you found this as inspirational as I did. So thank you.
Thank you, Gary. It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed the conversation. So, looking forward to staying in touch and also hearing your feedback of your, car service experience via Techland
Absolutely.
platform.
You
Thank
got
you.
it. Thank you.